the feminine side. The standpoint. Still listen to the feminine side. The standpoint.
I can see you smiling. Hello there and welcome to the Standpoint today. Yes, I always have a program for you, but today is very dear to my heart because for a long time I've been complaining. The youth of today, the millennials, the Gen Z, Alpha and all. Listen, Association International School, right, throughout the year 2023 had programs that showcase some of their students, the middle year and the diploma students, and even the primary level, some of the amazing things that these young people are involved in. Today, we bring to you some of the students and some of the things they are doing. You'll be amazed. These are students engaging and embarking on projects that are life-changing and are going to change society, how we treat each other, how we support each other. You may think that these are privileged children because they go to Association International School, but they are taught to care. They are taught to be compassionate. They are taught to be thinkers. Anyway, I'm talking too much. So let me say thank you for tuning in. You're going to listen to their stories. And let me say thank you to Yekwa, tie-dye Yekwa, for giving me the tie and dye. My dress is by Habilisa. Yes, she's at East Legon. And my beads and earrings by Twinny Crafts. Thank you so much to them. My hair, yes, I'm back to my weaves. Nice by Inshilot GH. And then, of course, makeup by _global. We take a break. When we come back, we meet 3 amazing young ladies on the set, and we get to talk to some of them in the audience as well to learn what they're doing and to find out how much you can support. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back.
The standpoint. The standpoint.
Welcome back to the Standpoint. And last year, 2023, Association International School celebrated its 60th anniversary. And this is maybe one of the programs. It's after the anniversary, but still, ties in beautifully. Some of the things that AIS is doing, what is achieved, what is doing with its students. And I am so proud of these 3, ladies and what they are doing. Well, let me say thank you to Vena Mineral Water. Vena has a balanced pH level, has all the right minerals in it. It's low in sodium, and they embark on charitable, projects like changing lives and, of course, spreading love. Thank you to Bigot Drinks and Yep Cleaning Services, Auntie Vera House of Food. We're so grateful to them. And of course to Capitol Catering for also supporting us. So grateful to them. Now let me come to my set and introduce to you the 3 young ladies on set. Okay, so seated right opposite me is the lady we call Kimberly. Kimberly, introduce yourself. In fact, all of you are going to do your self-introduction.
Yes, please. Hello, my name is Kimberly Gomado. I am a student of Association International School. I am currently in DP1, and I think some interests I have are like humanitarian works, which is why I'm here with Miss Gifty today. So, yeah.
And what's the name of your project?
So it's called the Spark Organization.
Okay, we'll get into Spark. And the next is Vera Fayusi. Miss Fayusi, introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Vera Fayusi Diku. As Kimberly said, I'm also a student of Association International School. I'm in DP2, which is equivalent to my final year. My project is titled Initiative Preserving FRHH, where FRHH stands for Female Reproductive Health and Hygiene.
Okay.
Yes.
And next is
Mami Siwenfo. I'm a student of Association International School. I'm also in DP1, and my project, along with my sister, is titled Project Go Gold and Give a Hug.
Project Go Gold and Give a Hug. And let me declare my interest. Okay, so Mamiesi is my niece. They are twins, you know, and then Erisi is in the audience as well. We'll get to meet the other students in the audience very soon. And she is the daughter of my first cousin. So that's how close, you know, no bias here. You know. I just had to declare before somebody says, but that's her niece. Okay, that's fine. Now, you are about to leave school. By June, you'll be done. And what's the bigger picture for you, Vera?
Well, go to the university, and my aim is to become a doctor. I'm looking at, in terms of my specializations, emergency medicine, pediatrics. We're still weighing the options, but my bigger picture is to become a medical doctor. And yes. So
What is that one thing you'll be taking away from AIS?
balance.
Balance.
Because you get academic rigor, but you have to maintain your discipline. I'm actually a prefect, so you have to also know how to give all of yourself to that, but maintain your academic work, your extracurricular activities. So balance is one thing I'm taking away.
Balance. Kimberly, what's the bigger picture for you?
Okay, so I want to go to uni. I want to study economics and international relations, have my master's in international relations. I want to be a diplomat, an ambassador. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
And that's one thing that you'll be taking away from AIS, Association International School.
Yeah, I think adding to what you said about balance, I'd also take away, I think balance is really the main thing you learn in AIS. I can't put it into words. I mean, we do IB. It's not just education, like work. It's also putting in yourself to your community. It's also finding balance between everything that you're doing, your extracurriculars. It's everything that comes together to just graduate. It's not just like work. So, I mean, with this project, it came about from balance. So I think that's one thing that you really
Okay, so would you say that your project was birthed out of that balance you picked from? You felt that you could do that. You need to, apart from the academics, you still need a balanced life where you'll be able to give back to society.
Yeah. I mean, in AIS, they'd push you to do a lot of things, because for my project, some of my peers who are not in the same school as me, like, they look at the gravity of the project and they're like, wow, how are you able to do that at your age? Like, and I'm like, in this school, nothing is impossible. Like, you can do everything because the teachers will be there to support you, the students will be there to back you. Everything is just set out for you. All you need to do is just give it your all and just go.
So you didn't tell me about your project. Mami, I'm talking to you.
Sorry.
Until I came across you soliciting support, and you organize. I mean, the two of you, Mamiesi and Eresi, you organized the football tournament to raise. Or was it a football?
We did a snack sale.
A snack sale to raise funds.
Yes.
Yeah, but why did you decide to get into that project? Operation Go Give a Hug. That's quite a name for a project.
Yes. So that the project came from my personal experience, because I know what it's like being in Kolebu's pediatric oncology ward. It's not somewhere that the proper care that we are supposed to give to people who have cancer, or even sanitation-wise and medicine, is able to provide. So all the help that they can get, I think it would be a good thing to support. And as someone who's been there, I wanted to be able to, Eresi and I, because I remember Eresi also came to visit me one of the days that I was there, and we wanted to help in any way that we could.
So you were there,
Yes.
as a patient.
Yes.
And instead of concentrating on getting well, you are thinking about how to help when you get out of that place.
Yeah. I think it's very important because they say experience is the best teacher.
Right.
And many people are in there where they don't have the opportunity I would say, to be able to go outside medical support or medical aid. Many people just have this country and have the national NHIS.
The National Health Insurance.
Yes,
Yeah.
to help them with any medical things that they have. And chemo is quite expensive. Akolebu as well, they don't have the right machines to administer the chemo. So instead, to prevent death, they would give you half the dose, so that half of what you need, so that it's better safe than sorry. There's also the facility in itself, because when you do chemo, your immune system crashes very easy. So you like very different things. You are very susceptible to illnesses.
Right.
Even the facility is not good enough so that you don't get those illnesses, or like it sort of shields you a little from those illnesses. Yeah, and for the medicines as well, instead of the doctors or like the medical staff to bring it into the room, you as a parent or whoever your guardian is has to go look for the medicine at a pharmacy. Sometimes you go to the pharmacy and they say, oh, we don't have it here. Then you go around, and then when you come, then the doctors administer it. But there's no sort of proper care with that as well. So anything we could do to help, we're willing to.
Okay. Eresi, so whose idea was it? To start?
See, Mamisi brought the idea to me, and
While she was there?
No, this
Or
was
when she
it's.
came
I mean,
home?
it's something that I feel has always been on her heart, and like we said, we do CAS as part of our IB program, and I feel like that provided her the
what is CAS?
opportunity. So CAS is creativity, activity, and service, and it's almost like a counterbalance to the academic rigor that the program provides. So that's what I think Vera and Kimberly have spoken about in terms of balance. So it provided like the foundation for her to go after this project, and I was just there to support, honestly, because I knew how important the cause was to her. So in any way that I could help, then I would, because I also saw some of it. She felt it, but I also saw some of it.
Yeah, I like that. She felt it, but you saw it. But were you affected by it?
I mean,
with what you saw?
After my first visit with her, I have to be honest, when I saw the environment and when I left, I cried, because it was my sister. She's unwell and she's in this sort of a horrid environment, but it's like that is what is available. It's either that or nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been involved in this? How long have you embarked on this?
We started initially. She wanted us to do it in, was it September? Because September was
2023.
September of 2023, because September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So she wanted us, but I think a few things didn't work out, and some of it ended up spilling into October. But like we said at Project FRHH, the launch, it's not. Each month is designated to something, but that doesn't limit it. Yes. So we started with a talk from Dr. Benjamin Sarkodie to help raise awareness to the student body. I think the whole of secondary was there, and it was a short talk but very informative. People asked their questions, and then we continued with the dress down. So the dress down is when most of our funding came from. So a dress down and then a snack sale. And then those proceeds were donated to the childhood cancer.
So you've
care.
done your first donation?
Yes, please, we have.
Okay. All right. Let me come to Kimberly. So now we know in details what led to Project Go Hug. Go,
and give a hug.
Go and give a hug. You explain why go and give a hug. I can get the hug, but go is, I'm just wondering. Go gold.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gold. Okay. All right. Kimberly, now what led to your project, and if you can expand a bit on that.
So this project came about firstly as me trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my NYP personal project. Because when I was in NYP, you have to do like a personal project to be able to get your certificate. So what I knew was that I wanted to do something and like to help people, because that's where my heart normally lies. And I wanted something that would like hit most of my audience, because people around me, they're young and we're all like trying to figure out what we're trying to do in life. Right, and I landed on the topic of sexual assault and harassment. Like if you look at the statistics, children.
How did you land on that topic?
So, I wanted something that I would be passionate about, something that would really come to me, and I've been a victim of sexual harassment. When people hear sexual harassment, they think it's something that is like big, like, oh my gosh, you've been raped or something. But sexual harassment, even though it's not on like a broader scale, it's still something to be talked about.
Yes.
If you've been catcalled, someone has touched you inappropriately, it's still a form of sexual harassment.
Yeah.
And people don't know that. Like, they don't know that somebody can't touch you like this because they think that it's normal. But it's not. And when you bring up these stories to your classmates or your friends, they normally don't care. It's like...
They think like, what's the big deal? Because most of them have also become victims. Somebody hits their butt or, touch the breast and, touch inappropriately. And they think, but you're joking. Oh, we are just joking. Oh, we are just playing.
Exactly. But they just pass off as a comment or like a joke, and it's not right. Right, so that's what really led me to this project. And also, at least here in Ghana, the youth are more susceptible to rape or sexual assault or harassment, right? So that's when I decided that I wanted to embark on this project. And initially, what I wanted to do was just interview like professionals who have worked in this field, so they'll come and give in their judgments and all that. But I decided that I need to push it more to like a personal level. So I opened up the platform to like all my classmates, my friends all over Ghana, and they all started to come out to tell their stories. I mean, friends who I've been with in the school for a long time, like you would never know this is happening to them. But when I pushed this out to them, like they all came to me, it's like, Kimberly, this has happened. And I'm like, wow. So like they come and tell their stories and all that. And I was like, okay, let me put this into a podcast. Let me share what I'm hearing with the rest of the world, right? So if anyone is like comfortable with sharing their stories, and like normally when they come and share their stories, they give us lessons behind this, right? So what they've learned from it, how they think that somebody can help them, just to bring it all together, right? So that's mainly what I do through the podcast. But I also interview professionals. I mean, the first one that I interviewed was a development practitioner with the Ministry of Gender. And I've also spoken to the Deputy Chief Superintendent with the DOVSU. Right. I think she was the more informative. I mean, she's already working in the field. She really gave it everything. And so I've been working on this for about a year now. This started in 2022, November. Right. And I mean, since then, I've really been like trying to push it out. I've had campaigns. I mean, back in December last year, we were working with the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. Right. My organization, we all came together to try and push a campaign for that. We are hosting conferences, we are donating, raising fundraisers and everything. We're just trying to...
How angry do you get when you hear some of these stories? Not just from your friends, but from strangers who follow you on social media and listen to the podcast. How angry do you get?
Honestly, it's a mix. Sometimes when you're hearing the stories from the victims, I would say it's like a mix of frustration and just sadness. It's like, as they're telling their stories, you can hear the emotion behind it. And it's so heart-wrenching that somebody would even get up to do such a thing. And it's like, you can't say anything because they're already like being brave enough to like try to tell their story. So for you to even show your reaction to that, you have to like compose yourself, and
you don't have to appear judgmental.
Exactly.
And emotional,
You have to like calm so that they can feel comfortable. And it's honestly so, And sometimes too, when I release the stories, the comments I get back from this, sometimes too, people will come to me and be like, but is this even sexual harassment? Like, is this? And I'm like, you can't judge someone for their experience. Everybody's story is justified. And if it has happened to them, it has happened to them. All we can do is just help them, not judge them.
Things affect us differently.
Yeah.
What will drive somebody to the edge will make somebody smile.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes to pour out and share that this happened to me and it's affecting me, no one has the right to judge them or to play that. So what's the again I ask, how far do you want to push this? What do you want to achieve as a diplomat, future diplomat?
Okay, so already I can say that I've built my presence in my school. I'm trying to branch out to other schools in Ghana. Right now, what we're trying to do is go to some less privileged communities. Some of them don't have the technology to be able to reach the podcast to hear these stories. So sometimes I go out to some schools. Back in October, I went out to a few schools. I went to go and talk to them. I mean, the name of my organization is Spark. So the whole aim of it was finding your spark, like understanding what you're doing, what is happening, right? I also hosted a conference, right, where I was
in November 2023.
Exactly. Yeah. I got someone from UNICEF, from Dovsu Ministry of Gender, and I also had a dear friend who is a state attorney general. She also came to talk. She deals with cases with like rape. So they all came to talk. We also had like a fundraiser where we raised about 7,000 to be able to give out to the ARC Foundation and underprivileged schools. Okay. I want to continue to expand this to like a global level, right? In my team, I have people who are in different countries. I have a friend who is in New Jersey right now. She's also working on creating a safe space, like a podcast over. They want to work with different counselors in different countries, different schools. I really want to push this out there because like I feel like if we all come together, we can all find our spark.
How much support have you received from AIS?
A lot. I feel like without like AIS support, honestly, I wouldn't be here. For example, when I first released my podcast, they were my main listeners. I mean, if they didn't listen to it, like it reached like a number of charts, like topping a lot of charts, right? And because of the amount of attention it was garnering, like a lot more people were like, oh, if a lot of people are listening to this, let me also listen to this. I mean, like they would be there. I mean, most of the people I interviewed in the beginning were from AIS. My teachers were always there to like push me. Sometimes when I listen to the stories and I can't like seem to hold myself, I'd go to the school counselor. She'd always be there for me. The teachers were always there to push me. Me being able to interview these big people, like the professionals, it was through my teachers. I mean, Spark was literally birthed from AIS.
Okay, good. Quickly, Vera, I was at you and forgive me, I have a very special interest in your project. So we'll go through that during the second break. We'll talk extensively about it. But Mamisi, I forgot to ask you, what's the bigger picture for you? What do you want to be?
I want to go into medicine. I think specializing, I either want to do obstetrics and gynecology or family medicine.
Be specific so you can take care of me in my old age.
Well, I am still balancing those two out, but that's what I want to do.
Yes. And have you received support from AIS?
Yes, for our projects we did. They gave us the platform to sort of do what we wanted to do. The dress down and all the snack sales are all things that had to be approved first before they did it. And I already mentioned that I wanted to do it in September because September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. They really pushed for us to be able to do it in the month of September, even though it was within like the last 2 weeks of it. Right. So, yes.
Okay. And Erezi, what about you?
I also want to do something in law or something to do with maybe working with global organizations, like something like the UN, so humanitarian.
Humanitarian is here. Okay, well, let me take a break. When we come back, we get to listen to Vera and her project FRHH. You wonder what it is. You'll be amazed. We'll be back. And of course, we get to talk to some of the students in the audience as well. I'm sure some of them, we'll find out from the guys what they think about all this. The sexual harassment bit. Have they listened to the podcast that project go gold and give a hug. We'll get to talk. Are you guys ready? I'll be coming to you. Well, I'd like to say thank you to Habarata Fabrics for my tie and dye. Thank you so much to Habil's Couture for my dress. You know, I'm looking like a girl, a student. Thank you so much to her. Thank you to Inshilo GH for my hair and makeup by _glow bar. Thank you. And of course, my beads and earrings by Twinny Crafts. We'll be back.
The Standpoint. The Standpoint.
Welcome back to The Standpoint, and I'd like to say thank you to Association International School for allowing me to have this conversation with the students and also allowing some of their students to come to the studio and the parents of the students, both on set and in the studio as well. So grateful. Not everybody would allow that, so I am really grateful to them for that. Thank you to Yep Cleaning Services. They take care of our environment. They make sure our environment is clean. Thank you to Phoenix Decor. Did a beautiful, Christmas tree and plant. I love Christmas. If you leave me, it will be Christmas throughout the year. My set will be Christmas throughout the year, but that's okay. Thank you to Vena Mineral Water. Vena Mineral Water has a balanced pH level, all the right quantities of minerals, and then it's also low in sodium. It engages in charitable projects like changing lives and sharing love. So when you drink Vena mineral water, which is of good quality, you are also contributing for the betterment of society. House of Food, Auntie Vera and the team, thank you for always being there for us. We are grateful. Thank you to Mrs. Ovoripoko and the team. And then also we are grateful to Capital Catering for coming in to support. Now let me come to the studio again on the set and talk to Vera Fayusi Deku. Project FRHH.
Yes.
Let's go on. F for
Female.
R for
Reproductive.
H.
Health.
And
Hygiene.
thank you. Yes. Why that area?
Okay. So I always give the background story of an interaction I had with a fellow friend of mine. I think it was somewhere last year, early last year, which was January 2023. And I was coming down from class, I was the busy association life. And I got pulled by one of my friends, and she asked me that she needed, did I have a spare sanitary product, a spare sanitary pad or any product? And I said, oh yes, of course, I was willing to share. And I even thought that was very bold of her. So I went into my bag and I said, yes, sure. And I was off to class. But then, in fact, I didn't reach my class when I turned and realized that she had come out of the washroom, very abruptly. And in my mind, I was like, wait, this is too short a time for you to go and, change. And as a lady, So in my mind, I was like, should I go back? And I could see she was a bit despaired, like there was worry on her face, but I had class, and so I had to run. But then in the middle of class, it clicked that I had given her a heavy flow sanitary pad, which is quite big. If you know about the female menstrual cycle, male or female, you have different flows.
Right.
So I had given her a big sanitary because I have a heavy flow. So, and I realized, no, this girl is very petite. It might have been uncomfortable. And it clicked, oh no. So where would she get help from? And I realized that I saw her walking all the way, about 3 minutes, to the nurse's office to go and get a sanitary pad. And immediately I was broken. I was like, no, this shouldn't be. And this is how my project was birthed. This was the foundation.
Of the bed. So what is the objective of this foundation?
We have 3 main aims for Project Female Reproductive Health and Hygiene. The first is to destigmatize the mindset of or around female reproductive health and hygiene. The second is to make sure that every female has a sanitary product when she needs it. The third is to be able to raise awareness and spread education on female reproductive health and hygiene, proper education for understanding. And so these are our three main aims: destigmatize, make sure every female has a product when she needs it, and raising awareness and spreading education.
How do you feel about taxes on sanitary pads?
I'm appalled. I remember when we were getting ready for the launch of our project, and I was going around surveying, buying pads, and I just to survey went to a shop across my school, and one pack, I think I sampled Always Proper, all the packs, all the brands. One pack was 24 CDs, and I said there are about 6 to 8 depending on the brand. And I said, I, as a female, and you are advised to change your sanitary pad twice or three, at least twice, 3 times is the recommended every day. So it means in 2 days, you are going through 2 packs. What if someone can't even afford one meal, even bread or cocoa? So what happens to a mother or a father who has 3 daughters or a family, and you have these taxes being imposed? And, I mean,
There are some who say that in the 2024 budget, which was read in November last year, taxes have been removed from the locally manufactured products as sanitary parts, but the imported ones, there's still taxes on them. Do you think this is good enough?
This is not good enough. This is not good enough. Do we say, toilet paper? Do we say that there are taxes on locally manufactured toilet paper and they're not on the imported ones? Sanitary pads...
Okay, you're going even beyond.
Even
Let's look
beyond.
at condoms.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where it's coming from. No tax.
No tax. And you have a choice to buy a condom, to use a condom. It's a choice you make. But then your menstrual cycle is biological. You don't have a choice as a woman. It's something that's part of you. So why? Why do we categorize that? And then condoms is different. It's appalling.
You're about to leave school. By June, as I say, you'll be leaving school. What happens to your project after that?
My project, I am determined to make stand strong. Because from that encounter, I have vowed that whatever I can do to make an impact, to destigmatize the mindset on female reproductive health and hygiene, I will do. And my slogan, one of my slogans is, every male or female educated about female reproductive health and hygiene, FRHH, is an empowered teacher. So I wouldn't stop until I have more empowered teachers than there were before.
Okay.
And so I will keep going. We are now we are in the process of registering as an official NGO to go out there to to spread our message and to make develop empowered teachers.
I was privileged to be one of the speakers during your launch in December last year.
Yes.
And I realized that you're not just about giving talks and empowering and giving information, but you also want to go forth and develop, pad dispensers?
Dispensers, yes. Sanitary pad dispensers. Eventually, maybe we'll branch into tampon dispensers and other product, but for now, sanitary pad dispensers. This, again, ties to my encounter. If my friend had a sanitary pad dispenser in the washroom, she wouldn't have had to walk 3 minutes to the nurse's office while bleeding, uncomfortable, no one to speak to. And so this is one of our missions. In fact, thanks to AIS is the first school that has committed to installing sanitary pad dispensers in their washrooms. And not just sanitary pad dispensers, we have a dispenser for heavy flow and a dispenser for regular flow. And so we want to expand this, go to the other schools, the schools in the international school circle, organizations. In fact, In fact, one of our sponsors, the Franklin Medical Center,
Right.
wants to adopt that, have pad dispensers in their washrooms. Because if you as long as you have toilet paper, why don't you have sanitary pads?
And I think AI deserves an applause.
Yes.
Because even some of these so-called multinational companies, big companies with big names, some who will boast that they are, gender sensitive, do not have this.
No.
So I think that is very genius of you to come up with that idea of having dispensers. I mean, the best title was in South Africa in 2001. Were you even born? In 2001, when I was in South Africa, SABC Africa, and that one, they had dispensers for condoms, not sanitary pad. Because at that time, HIV was at its peak in the Southern African countries. So they had condoms in there. But to come up with this idea of having sanitary pad dispensers in the schools, I think it's brilliant. Kimberly, what do you think about this idea of, Vera's project? What do you think about it?
I think it's really brilliant. I'm fortunate to be one of the members of her team.
Okay.
I mean,
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
The collaboration. Okay. Yeah.
When she
Kimberly,
brought
go ahead.
this project to me, honestly, I was marveled. Like, for her to even come up with this at such a prevalent time, it was very inspiring, because it's also a problem that really needs to be talked about, and it really touches me as a female, because I've also been in the situation where I don't have the right sanitary materials for me to be able to take care of myself during my time of the month. And I'm just really proud of her for putting in the work and making this happen. It's honestly an inspiration.
Mamiesi.
It's a good initiative as well, because I feel that many people are very shy about the topic, and not even just the topic.
Even Kimberly couldn't say menstruation. She said my time of the month. Yeah. You said my time of the month. Yeah.
And the pad dispensers example, I think is a very good idea, because I know a few times where people have come to me and be like, oh, do you have one? And I may not be able to provide them with one, so they have to go around and search. And even though our school provides the necessary materials, it's not always that someone may be comfortable with what is available.
Yeah.
So.
And even going all the way to the next Miss Saba to ask for sanitary. If you can get it from your phone, you can go walk to the washroom and take it. Let me go around to the who can. What do you think about those in the audience? The guys, what do you think about it?
Hello, my name is Cassium Ojiaku. As a guy, Vera came to me about her initiative a little bit before the launch. We had a very informative conversation on the topic, and she had asked about things such as my opinions, and then even before her launch, I spoke on that conversation that we had. And I feel like as a man, when in regards to FRHH, it's kind of important for us as well to just, even if we can't actively help, just to understand, because most of us here will be future fathers, future husbands, we'll have a woman in our life that we may have to take care about at some point, right? So I just think it's very
Getting information now is very important.
It's very helpful that she's taken this step to help not just the women around, but the men around as well.
Because this is a conversation that you will not have at home. No parents will talk to a guy about the need to make sure there's sanitary pad available for your daughters, for your sons, and all that. For your daughters, for your wife, and stuff like that. I get you. Thank you so much. I need another guy to speak on the project. Go. Okay. All right.
Hello, my name is Musa Hiniwarise. About Vera's project. See, me personally, I'm a triplet. I have two sisters. Okay. So when it came to stuff like this, I was always knowledgeable about it because they were really open about it with me. But when she started her campaign, I was surprised by the amount of my friends who had no idea about what they go through, what it's like, and what they need. So I feel like it was a very good project to educate more people of the male species about what exactly the females are going through and how they can help, and just overall be knowledgeable about the things that are happening.
Okay. Anyone to speak on this sexual harassment project?
Hi, thank you. My name is Miss Ashley. I'm Dean of Students at Association International School. With the Spark organization, honestly, I think it's a wonderful campaign because growing up, especially like compared to this generation, things like not just sexual assault, but sexual harassment was kind of like, if it happened, you should have been able to stop it. Like I was, as a high schooler, I actually had a case of sexual harassment from someone I considered a friend. And because it was a friend even, everyone said, oh, it's a big deal. You should be happy that you're getting the attention and things like that. And for me, it made me feel very shy, not being able to come out. And it's not just me, several family members, friends, colleagues, they go through this, and we feel like we don't have a voice because we're told that we should just keep shy, that we should have just dressed a certain way or done something else, and we would have avoided it.
That dressing bed, it's so annoying.
It is,
It's
honestly.
so annoying, to be told that, oh, it's because you were wearing a short skirt, or because you were wearing a tight dress,
Yes.
or because you were wearing, your a bit of your boobs were showing. I mean, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Kwabena Boama, and concerning the Go Gold Give a Hug, I also went to Kolebu. I had to get surgery on my knees because I had an injury, and that experience, the Kolebu experience, was very, very painful, and it wasn't nice because the hospital was very, very unkept, and the infrastructure was very bad, and the medical attention was poor. And I think coming out and talking about this topic is very good, and it's very inspirational because it throws light on what people are going through in Kolebu. People might think that, oh, it's Kolebu, but people are really suffering there. And this project has really, it's really dear to me because I also experienced it, and she also experienced it, so she knows how it feels. And so I think it's a very good project. Thank you.
Thank you. In conclusion, Ma'am Yesi, how can society help you? How can, people watching you, parents and your colleagues, help to make your project a success?
Okay, so what we've done so far is raise funds for our previous events that we did. We were able to raise 2,694 CDs for Kolebu. For Erisi was the one in charge of liaising with them and making sure that everything that they needed. So we were sent a list of things that they would need and all that. That I think Erisi can expand more.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Mamiesi got sick, we had a nurse who works at Kolebu that we went to church with. And when she saw Mamsi at the hospital, took care of a lot of her treatment. So she is the one that I spoke to, and she expressed that they really need the funds. And I asked that if we are to send the funds, would it be used or would it go into somebody's pocket? Because that is the main thing.
Yeah.
Is it used or does it go into somebody's pocket? So when we looked at some of the things, we tried to decide between maybe getting the things for maybe patients within the ward, or we look at some of the things that they need, which was like syringes and all that. Because this was just the first thing that we did, and it was within the school community, there was no outside influence or support. The money that we raised wouldn't have been as impactful if we had bought the items for. And she expressed that they really like the word, really, because I spoke to her and then she spoke to the person that was even above her, and we were all in agreement. So we sent the money to the Lifeline for Childhood Cancer.
Okay.
Yes, so that's where the first amount of the donation has gone to.
And I'd also like to mention, right, that it doesn't necessarily have to be big things. If you can donate what you can donate, like if you go to the hospital yourself and you see things like mosquito nets or maybe a bed sheet or a blanket, it's little things like that. Chemo is a very hard thing to go through, and having a little bit of comfort. There are sometimes where even a smell, you can't stand a smell. Something that you used to think was so nice, maybe 5 minutes ago. In 5 minutes, you're like, no, what's that? Get it out of here. You can't eat, things like that. So little things go a long way to support anyone's treatment.
And I believe give a hug doesn't necessarily mean hugging somebody, but being nice.
Yes.
You know, and showing love and care too. And providing support as well. Okay. Kimberly.
I want to be able to help victims, but especially underprivileged victims, be able to get the resources that they need. To be able to even prove that you have been a victim of sexual assault, you would have to undergo some medical treatment. You'd have to pay. I believe the last time I checked, you'd have to pay about 520 for the medical kit to prove that you have been raped. And
it differs from area to area. Yeah, it differs. Some charge higher.
Yeah. And like not everybody has the access to be able to get these funds to be able to prove. And it's not even just the medical, the legal aspect, getting a lawyer, being able to stand for yourself in court, it's a whole lot. And I believe the organization in Ghana that really deals with this is the DOFSU, right? So I'm trying to go to these underprivileged communities, right? I want to be like a standing point between them. So like if you've ever been a victim, first you can like come and talk to us, and then with the funds that we are trying to raise, we'll try to use that to like pay for this, so that when you go to the DOFSU, you would already have the funds to be able to like get your help and treatment. And also through our podcast, we also want to reach like a larger audience. We want to set up stations in different places, so the stories will not only be from Ghana, be from other parts of the world, and especially from men too. You know, I had a season dedicated to men called The Era of Him, to show to like shed light on male sexual assault stories and everything. And also I want to just continue to promote it a bit more. I mean, the name of my organization, Spark, is to signify a domino effect on somebody like telling their story and somebody else getting inspired to tell their story, to educate themselves.
So you spark a fire.
Exactly.
And then it has a rippling effect. And not just telling the story, but get help and get healing as well.
Exactly.
You know, and I believe I may dare add, getting it, because people lose their spark when they become victims of harassment, either sexual, psychological, emotional, financial, and what have you. And so spark can bring you back your spark to know that it's not the end of the world. Seek help and you'll be okay. You'll get back on it. It doesn't mean it's okay to go through that, but you can rise above that. You see, Mama's got you. Vera, finally, your logo. And you know I love it. So let me explain. Let me be too known. Okay, so this is the female productive system. And then the blue is for men and pink for women. Meaning both male and female are needed to push this agenda to make sure that we destigmatize female reproductive health and hygiene issues, and also to let women know that they have a beautiful gift from God and they should not be shy of talking about it and sharing their experiences, right? Okay, so finally.
I would like to add that FRHH is not just about the menstrual cycle or menstruation. We expanded towards female reproductive diseases, female reproductive disorders, and as we are going along,
sexually transmitted diseases and infections,
family planning, contraceptive, a lot of things. And one of the main things, in fact, our first aim is the destigmatization, because what we did, one of the things we did for our inaugural phase was to go out into some public schools I told my team that I don't want it to end at sharing sanitary pads. We go to a school or an organization and share pads. No, we have to make a change in the mindset. And then immediately we got there, some of the boys were like, why am I here? What am I doing here? And then I was like, yes, this is why I have to be here. And so destigmatizing, we want to go out to schools. We printed certain posters, we've designed posters, pamphlets, flyers to share to them, to educate them. And what I would like the outside world to do, help we would need, is to support this project. We went to 2 schools. We took a clinical psychologist, child psychologist, and a gynecologist. Shout out to Dr. Ethel and Dr. Nita.
Okay, yeah.
And we went to educate them. There was a Q&A session, and then we gave them pads. But I made sure to tell them it is not because it's not just
About the
giving you
pad,
pads.
yeah.
No, because it will get finished.
It'll get finished,
But
definitely.
then, first of all, is to tell you that also lend a helping hand when you can. Continue this project and to give you a wider picture, the broader picture. So I would like people to, in your own stride, if you can, if you will become an empowered teacher, teach your male child, teach your female child about female reproductive health and hygiene. Because even before they are fathers, they are brothers, they are friends. If a lady has stained her skirt, they shouldn't be laughing. They should be able to go up to her and say, this is the situation. I think you should, do you need any help? So be an empowered teacher, number 1. Number 2, if you can reach out to your schools around you, donate pads, yes, but organize these campaigns and support us as well. We have a social media page. We want to expand to print these posters, to go out to the schools, more schools in rural areas. And lastly, the pad dispenser initiatives.
Right.
If we want to go eco-friendly, so we've partnered with a wooden company. But also, if you're an institution, big institutions, install pad dispensers in your washrooms,
Thank you so much, and congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to all of you for what you're doing. And again, thank you to AIS for making this possible. If you want to support any of them or any of the project, it's a Spark project preserving FRHH, the Female Productive Health and Hygiene project. Go gold and give a hug. You can go through AIS Association Time because they are all students there, and you'll be linked to the right people to do the right thing, to give the support that they need. But every little helps. The young ones have shown the way. We may have missed it, but the young ones have shown the way. So let's be all out to support them. Thank you so much, ladies. And I hope to see you again very soon, and giving me feedback on how it's going. And of course, every now and then when you do short videos to promote your project and to solicit for funds, Auntie Gift has got you, so you just send it to me. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I'll be back with a bit of me.
The Standpoint.
How exciting it is to see young people reaching out and making sure that they bring change to their communities. Not just the communities where they fit, but go beyond. For years, we complained about the young generation. We think they don't care. We think they don't respect. So when we find some young people reaching out to touch lives, to change lives, to share love, it's exciting. Project Spark, sexual harassment. It's important to get the young people talking to each other about it. Female reproductive health and hygiene. How many parents teach their children that? I remember years ago when we did a program on the Standpoint. And some of them, it's affecting them. Their first monarchy. Stories of how, parents cannot even tell their children the truth. Children are afraid to tell their parents when they first have their menstruation. And the first thing that you, especially mothers and grandmothers, tell your children when they have their menstruation is that if you touch a man, if you get close to a man, you'll get pregnant. There's more to think about, to teach about when it comes to female menstrual health, how to keep themselves, how to use the pad, how not to fall victim, all due to lack of sanitary towels. How if when they don't keep themselves well, it can lead to certain diseases and infections that can affect them in future. How it's okay for them to understand. How to speak up when they are going through pain. So many things. And of course, childhood cancer. It's painful to see adults go through cancer. The treatment, the management. How much more children? In a good old Kolebu. It's all we have. When it comes Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Komfanochi Teaching Hospital, Tamale Teaching Hospital, that's all we have. But what are the conditions there? Let's raise our children to be compassionate, to love, to think, and to reach out to help. I remain a woman with super crazy faith in God. I thank God I'm a mentor. I thank God I'm a role model. I thank God I'm a mother, not only to one, but to many. May God help me to apply the wisdom that He has given me and the experiences that I've been through so that the younger ones can do much better than I have done, than you have done. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week and look out for your young ones. Yeah.